Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. We are live. Welcome to the Smash Life Experience podcast. I am your host, Michael K. Hughes, and today is season number 2, episode number 3, special guest number 3. The title of today's episode is The Rise of the Hybrid Athlete, and today's guest is a personification of that title. With a background in amateur football and boxing, he jumped straight into HYROX at the pro level, hitting a new PB, not once, not twice, but 3 times in just 4 weeks back in October 2022, narrowly missing out on World Championship qualification each time. After some forced downtime, which I'm sure we'll talk about today, he regrouped and came back with a partner. He qualified for the doubles on the second attempt in Malaga after a mid-race injury to his partner on the first attempt in Munich. Again, we'll dive into that later. Eventually, he competed and finished the World Championships doubles in Manchester in May last year, finishing 10th in the age group and 37th overall with a pro doubles time of 58.59. Very impressive. After a big summer of training in 2023, he's really gone to the next level. After competing and doing very well in other functional fitness and OCR events, he's been busy with HYROX. He finished 4th overall in the infamous world record attempt of the doubles in Birmingham in October 2023 in a time of 54.17, which at the time was 68th fastest of all time. The next day, he was 1/4 of the men's relay that broke the British record. After that, he jumped over to Tenerife, finished 4th in the Deca Fit Elite. And then, most recently, his HYROX men's singles open debut in Frankfurt, finishing 2nd in the age group, 4th overall, a time of 58.33, making him the 2nd fastest Brit in the age group 25 to 29 of all time. And also, I don't know if you know this, the 35th fastest open of all time in all age groups. So accomplishing all this at just 26 years of age makes him one of HYROX UK's fastest rising young stars. Welcome to the Smash Life show, Harry Charles Bird.
You've done your research, haven't you?
That, mate.
You've definitely done your research.
Boom. Boom. Lots to dive into there. Lots to dive
yeah, man. Yeah. Loads of
every time I look at it, I'm like, how does he fit it all in? Like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's a busy schedule. My missus hates me for it.
Does she? Does she?
Yeah.
Take us back, mate. What was the background? I think football, a couple of boxing fights. Was that unlicensed?
Yeah, so mainly playing football ever since I was a kid. Nothing major. It was always Sunday league. I was never going to be a Premier League footballer. But it was mainly football. Did a bit of running here and there. And then obviously at the age of 16, as you do, it's always a bit of strength training, trying to bodybuild and stuff like that. But then, yeah, about 21 years old, went into CrossFit, found CrossFit, did that for a couple of years. Yeah, really enjoyed that. That's where I kind of started to find what sort of fitness I enjoyed the most. And then after doing CrossFit, found HYROX and thought running is my strong point. But running, I'm not a good enough runner alone, but mixed in with like strength style stuff and compromise running, then it really complements me. That's when I found HYROX and realized that I'm really suited to that and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, nice. Where did you actually hear about HYROX? Were you already training at Forders Gym in Birmingham, or did you find out about HYROX and then go to train there? Which came first?
Yeah, so it was second year into CrossFit at CrossFit Gym in Solihull. A lad called Ollie Russell, went for a coffee with him and he's told me about this new competition out that would really suit me. And I thought, all right, so I'll give it a crack. I've never done any sort of competition, be it HYROX or even a proper run where it's like a race. Before, found out about HYROX through this Ollie guy, and he said, yeah, just go for it. And I was looking on the website with him and I said, which ticket should I go for? Should I go for an open or pro? Like, what's the difference? And he goes, oh, don't worry about that. Just go straight into the pro. You'll be sweet. So booked it, and then that was it. Within about 3 months' time, I thought best start get training for this.
Got it.
And that's when he showed me Forders, which is obviously you've been, which is where we met. One of the
Yeah.
best gyms in the UK for HYROX style training.
Yeah.
Found that place, fell in love with it, with the facilities, with everything you can do there. Started training there, and then 3 months later, I did my first HYROX back in 2022
Yeah.
in March, which was London, and that was
Yeah.
a pro one.
Yeah.
I was in the younger age category then
Yeah.
because I was under the age of 25, and then finished second. But I think there was only like 3 people in that age category that was actually doing the race. So
Yeah.
second out of 3.
There you go. You still turned up though. You've got to turn up and complete it to get
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was
Nice.
tough.
That's interesting that it was through Ollie, because that actually links nicely to like how we met. So just to give people a bit of a background, Forders Gym in Birmingham, it's in like Redditch, like just south of Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah.
I went to uni with Darren, played rugby with him at Liverpool John Moores. That's how I know Darren. And it was like the start of 2022. He was saying to me, how's the training going and so on. And he said, have you heard of this HYROX? I said, no, what is it? And he's like, a bit like CrossFit. And as soon as I heard CrossFit, I was like, oh, I'm not interested. And kept like batting it away. And then I see on his Instagram or whatever, he's like, Las Vegas World Championships. And they finished, I think they finished second in the age group, Darren and mixed doubles partner. So I was like, I messaged him, I was like, right, okay, go on, tell me about it then, what is it? And he said, you'll have to come down. We've got this event that we run. It's like 4 times a year. It's called Strive. We're doing our own event.
Yeah.
So I went to the Summer Strive in June 2022, which it was still early days. I think it was maybe the first or maybe the second one. And we won that, like a team of 6. And that's actually the first day that I met Jay Fit, Jay Muscat.
Yeah.
Then after that, Darren's like, right, this HYROX, we're all going to Birmingham in October. You need to get booked on. I'm still over an hour and a bit, but I thought, right, let's just jump in, have a go. And he goes, in a lead up to it, we're going to be doing these like Wednesday sessions. That's all he was calling them. Like this sort of 12 o'clock on a Wednesday. I said,
it's still going now.
And he's still going, yeah. And I said, I said, who's free at 12 o'clock on a Wednesday? And he said, Mike, if you want to be there, you make sure you're free. I was like, right, okay. Anyway, I think I ended up being partnered up with like Max from Forders. Anyway, seeing. So I think I met Ollie at the Strive. See Ollie and this like young whippersnapper racing off. And I was like, wow, who's this kid? It was you. Yeah, it was you. Like, these guys are ridiculous. I was like, how are these guys running so quick? And anyway, Jay couldn't make the next Strive. I think it was like the autumn Strive. So I said to Darren, I said, who's that young kid with Ollie? I said, get him in our team. This was you. I said, get him in our team.
For the Strive.
And then that's when we competed, in the, that was like September.
That was it, because Jay was supposed to be in it, but then I took Jay's spot. And then when I met you, you was like, you've got some boots to fill.
Yeah, there you go. Of course you did it, didn't you? Big boots to fill and the right.
That's it, man.
Tell me a little bit. So how do you know Ollie then? From the CrossFit gym, that is?
We went to the same school, Ollie. Me and Ollie. I think he's year or 2 years below. We weren't really pals at school or anything, but then started becoming friends with him through CrossFit. Like I said, I started doing CrossFit like 2020. Did that for 2 years and then found HYROX, moved over to Forders, and Ollie's kind of done the exact same as well. He's moved away from CrossFit around a similar time and now fully engrossed in like compromised running.
Yeah, brilliant. Go on then. We did that Wednesday session. That was like August 22. Then it was Strive. The autumn Strive at Forders was September 22. And then you had a bit of a busy period then, didn't you, with HYROX? Do you want to give us a rundown? New York, Birmingham. Amsterdam.
That was it, yeah. So Darren and his team was heading off to New York to do the HYROX over there. He pulled me to one side and was like, do you fancy going? And I thought, you know what, fuck it, I might as well. Head over to New York, about 4 or 5 days, I think it was. My missus actually came over and surprised me as well. 2 days into the trip, she got a flight over, and my #1 fan. She's been to all my events and she's like supporting me along the way. To be fair, without my missus, I probably couldn't be able to get the times that I get and do what I can do. So massive thanks to her. But she met me over there. did the New York HYROX, was nervous for it, but it was my second ever one. And thinking back to the first one, I thought it weren't even that hard. And I thought, now that I know the course, I should be able to smash this. Got new shorts, new socks, bright orange shorts, bright orange socks, bright orange Alpha Flies. I thought these are the best running shoes on the market. And it just shows how little knowledge I had about the sport at the time. I just got the most expensive, best running shoes you could get. Went into the race, paid that £9 that you pay to go in the same wave as your friends. So me and Ollie was in the same wave. And I thought, right, Ollie's done this before. I've got to try and beat his time because we have a really healthy competition. He's a little bit faster than me, but it's very, very tight. So went into the race, started off well, did the first K, did the first ski, got to the sled push, did that sound. We're both very much neck and neck. And then all of a sudden we get to the sled pull. I'm wearing these fancy trainers, dressed in orange head to toe, go to pull it, and it just won't move. And I was just like, what the hell's going on? I thought it was my grip. But it turns out the trainers I had on, them Alpha Flies, I don't know if you've seen them, but they've got quite a high sole, and they were just folding over on themselves. And but even still, like, trainers aside, my form and like how I was putting it was just completely wrong. I was trying to put it on the side rather than squat with it and then stand up.
Yeah.
So it just shows how went into it quite arrogantly, and it really humbled me. And it took me 15 minutes, I think, to do the sled pull, which is just unbelievable. Ended up finishing that with a time of 1:20, which was 5 minutes slower than my first ever HYROX.
Yeah. And
then I knew I had Birmingham booked a week later. So I thought, Jesus, I've got to make some redemption here now. The next 5 days, my head was just completely focused on making sure I smashed Birmingham. So at Fords, I was really working on my technique for the sled pull.
Yeah.
Birmingham comes, do the race, get into it, get to the sled pull. I've got different trainers on this time, trainers that I wore for the first time. So I know they're trial and tested. And get to the sled pull, take a deep breath, and pick up that rope, and then just pulled it exactly how I should pull it. Yeah. And my time went down to 5 minutes or something for the sled pull. And I absolutely bossed it. Finished that race. Finished in 4th place in my age group, so just missing out on a podium. I think it was 1 hour 7.
Yeah.
And then I was on that much of a buzz. I was like, I can beat that. I can beat that. Booked the next HYROX the following weekend in Amsterdam. Flew out there with my mum and just gave it my all. And got my personal best, which was 1:05, which did get me a podium spot, 3rd place, and narrowly missing out on that World Championships by 1 spot. They only released 2 for that race. Yeah. But that was all 3 races, 2 different continents, all in the space of 22 days.
Wow. Just want to check, was there a week between New York and Birmingham?
I don't know if it was a week or 2, but altogether from the New York race to the Amsterdam race, it was 22 days.
Jesus. Man, I remember speaking to you at the time and saying, wow, I just couldn't get my head around it. Just incredible. But then I think that caused a few issues, physically, maybe mentally. Yeah. And it tells a little bit about that, a bit of burnout, let's say. Your body took a bit of time to recover.
I think I must have had, such a peak and a high. Put my body under massive amounts of stress. I don't think it was quite ready for it. As soon as I got back down into Birmingham, I played football the following weekend because at the time I was still juggling football and HYROX training and loads of other stuff. I was still doing a bit of boxing, I think, as well. Right. Played football, finished the football game, and my back just completely seized up. And then for the next 3 months, I just had really, really tremendous sciatica pain running down all the top of my left leg to my foot. I mean, if you've had it, then you know how bad it can be. Yeah. And it kind of just stopped me from training for about 3 months, which was really disheartening. And I think it was right in the winter as well, so it sent me into depression. And it was that sort of pain where you could kind of train, but you couldn't push it. So when you did go to train, it just felt pointless in training. So that just really messed with my head a bit. New Year came, 2023, went and saw a physio. He's healed it 95%. There was such a slight nigger still there, but within the space of 3 months of seeing a physio, it's basically gone. And then I thought, right, get back on it now, back into training. Lost my confidence a bit with the HYROX, and then that's when we went into going to do doubles with Sean, and that was Munich, which was the first doubles event.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And then it is brilliant so far. Tell us about the Munich then. So I'm assuming that the mindset was like you almost qualified for the Worlds in the singles in the pro. He just missed out a couple of times. Was the idea, right, let's have a go at the doubles, see if we can qualify in the doubles rather than with your back and the injury and stuff with the singles?
Yeah, so I mean, after doing the Amsterdam one, I felt like I'd done as best as I could do. And it kind of scared me a bit, like I say, with how injured I got after doing that and the headspace it put me in. It kind of put me off, and I kind of had a fear about doing a pro again. So I completely lost all my confidence with that. And I thought I felt like I created a rod for my own back. I'd done so well in the pro that if I go and do another one and I don't get as good, I'll hate myself for it. And then also I was just scared at the same time. So I thought to build my confidence back up, why not just do a doubles? It can't be nowhere near as hard, and it can be a bit of fun at the same time and a bit of a break. So that's how I kind of eased my way back into competing.
Got it.
Booked Munich, went to Munich with Sean, was both buzzing. We wore them Union Jack pants.
Yeah, Union Jack.
Yeah, which is where you got the inspiration for.
There we go. Love that.
That was it. Ran into the race, halfway around, was doing really well on for a proper good time, like aiming for sub 1 hour. And all of a sudden, Sean just pulls up and he's on the floor, on the track.
Oh,
bearing in mind, he was lying down for about good 5-10 minutes on the floor. And bearing in mind, we're in Germany wearing these Union Jack headbands and Speedos. So we look like a right pair of arrogant geezers anyway. And then Sean's pulled up on the floor. And you got these Germans running past us, laughing, saying stuff in German. So that didn't go down too well. So anyway, didn't finish very well there. I can't remember what the time was now or where we finished. I think it was 1:04.
Great stuff.
It was like sixth place. Yeah, it was still respectable considering the 5 to 10 minute injury on the floor. And then
like a 1:02.
It might have been, yeah. It might have been.
Fair play.
Yeah. But weren't good enough for a qualification.
Not quite. And then off the back of that, I think you just got back and said, we've not made it again. You booked another one.
Yeah, so Sean was feeling pretty down about that and gutted. Yeah, he was feeling down and gutted about that. So straight away I said, Sean, look, he felt like he'd let me down. I said, look, Sean, let's just book another one. We'll do another one and we'll smash that. I said, if you don't want to do another one, then you've let me down. So we booked the next available one, which happened to be Malaga. And we were like buzzing, cheap getaway, weekend in the sun, and then we'll smash this HYROX.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sean's leg hadn't fully recovered between the space of Munich and Malaga.
Yeah.
And we went into it not really as confident as we went into Munich.
Yeah.
The night before the race, we had a few beers in Malaga and was like, oh, fuck it, we're here to have a good time anyway now. Whatever happens tomorrow. Yeah. It was like, whatever happens tomorrow now happens. We wake up the next day, pretty hanging, and the men's doubles races are always at the start of the day. So our race was like 8 o'clock in the morning. We woke up and thought, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do this.
Wow.
We've gone there anyway, gone to run the race, absolutely smashed it, even held back a little bit because, like I say, Sean's leg hadn't fully recovered. We didn't want to go out balls deep. But to be fair, that probably worked in our favour because we paced ourselves properly for it. Did the race and finished second with that with a time of like 55 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So that's pretty close to my PB. Only got beaten when I did Birmingham recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
Well, we'll come on to Birmingham in a second. So you did the Malaga was the one where you qualified for the Worlds, yeah? I think that was
That's it, yeah.
April time. And then
it
was only another few weeks, and then it was the World Championships. So in the time,
exactly,
in that time, Sean's not quite recovered. So you ended up doing the World Championships with a different partner.
Yeah, a substitute. A good substitute though as well, who had no preparation or training specifically for HYROX.
Yeah.
But he's an ex-Marine, so he's an ex-Marine and he's a coach and a fitness coach. So he's competition ready all year round.
Yeah.
He did. Darren was trying to find me a replacement. Darren, who owns Forders,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I think I found you someone, Jordan Dawes." And I know Jordan anyway, so I went to school with him, and I went to school with his brother, who's in the same year as me. But
Morgan.
he goes, "I just want to put him through." What's
Morgan.
that?
Morgan was that?
Yeah, Morgan. Exactly. Yeah, Morgan, who works at Forders as well now. He goes, "I just want to put him through a fitness test first before I confirm that he's going to be your partner for the Worlds.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to be running with you and you'd be way quicker than him, or vice versa."
Yeah.
Anyway, he did this fitness test, passed it. We got to Manchester, the Worlds, and raced together, and it was class. We both ran at a really good pace. He'd never done pro weights before in HYROX. I think it was his second ever HYROX. His
Yeah.
first one was at the same time as my first one, and that was a double. So he'd never ran a singles HYROX or done pro weights, and he absolutely smashed it. To be fair to him, with no HYROX specific training, and then that's when we got, I think it's 57 minutes
Yeah.
for the World Finals.
There you go.
Which is good.
58, 59, 58,
That's
59.
it. Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go. That's a
Try,
great time.
trying to gain an extra minute.
I know. At the pro weight as well. That interestingly, up until coming up in Manchester, that's going to be the first ever pro
Yeah.
doubles. Yeah, so the only ever
Yeah,
pro
yeah, yeah.
doubles previous was the World Championship. So that puts you guys as the where are we? 37th of all time. Yeah,
Oh, class. Yeah,
current
didn't
stat.
know that.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
It's all about the stats, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's the
yeah.
beauty.
Yeah, you got to get him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
man.
man. Good man. And what about then? So you had that big sort of end to the year. What did it feel like to qualify for the World Championships? Bet you were made up to finally do it after so many attempts.
Yeah, it was class. I was buzzing, but at the same time, I was gutted because Jordan's one of my closest mates, and I weren't going to be doing it with him. So
Yeah.
the excitement wasn't there as much as it was, as it should have been, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I had qualified for that Vegas finals that you was on about as
Oh,
well
yeah.
when I'd initially done my pro in London, but I never went because at
Yeah.
the time it was all very new to me, and I thought I wasn't that interested in it. I only became interested in it when I got that bad time in New York, and that's why if you look at my Instagram post, when I posted about that New York mess up and mistake that I made, I'm kind of thankful for that in a way, because it made me love the sport even more, because it humbled me and made me want to come back stronger, and that's kind of where I gained the love for it.
Love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I think a few other people have said, in fact, the last guest we had on, Mark, said that after he'd done the first one, he was kind of like sort of in his mind, he ticked that box. I've done a HYROX, like I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'll leave it. But then obviously it just starts to get bigger and bigger and starts to explode. And people are like, right, well, what is it again? Bit like me, really.
Yeah.
Interested, but then you see people going here and traveling, and you know, you've been
Exactly.
over Europe with it, you know, weekend away with the miss, all that. So it's got so many positives and much more just running around in circles and jumping up and down, isn't it?
It's a class community, so everyone you meet there as well is sound people,
Yeah.
and it's like it's competition, but it's not like competition where it's nasty. Do you know what I mean?
There we go. There we go. And then, well, that's going to bring us on. So after a great 2022-23 season, you got a bit more serious with the training. And I think we spoke offline. You were working with a sports science guy, Rich, but then recently, another guy called Rich. Yeah.
Two Riches.
Yeah,
So initially, I started having a running coach who did my lactate tests, so they can see how much lactate's in your blood and work out what heart rates your zones are in. Obviously, you've got your generic zones for your heart rates, but it's a bit more specific when you get the lactate tests done.
Nice.
Started using him, that was great, but then I felt like my running was improving, but my strength and conditioning wasn't improving alongside it. So then that's when I got in contact with a different coach who kind of takes care of everything now, does the running, does the strength and conditioning. Been a month into that now, and that seems pretty class, to be fair.
Like it.
It's the first sort of coaching I've ever had. I've never really tried it before. So all these accolades and accomplishments I've got in competing have all come off the back of just winging it in training, just turn up to Forders, doing classes, and just trying to smash out some gym sessions with no kind of actual science behind it or efficiency, if that makes sense.
Yeah, plan all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But because in between as well this year, I've done a couple of Spartan races. And I did one of them back in like the middle of the summer last year, and that was a 21K, I think. And I came first in that.
Yeah.
And then did another one a few months later and came second in that overall. So I've started doing the Spartans as well. So it's Decker, HYROX, and Spartan now.
Spartan as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
man. Yeah.
Oh, man. Just cut back onto that in a second. Just going back a little bit, just to training. Give us a quick overview. Obviously, you've got loads going on, and like you say, you've gone into Spartan and Decker, and then we'll come on to the 2 HYROXes that you've done recently. But give us a quick overview. What did the summer look like, or what was the training? I think you said it offline. You know, like a general week. It's like Monday, Tuesday. What are you doing day to day? Just give us a quick overview now. I mean,
during the summer or now?
Let's go now. Now, what's it look like? What's a typical week?
So now that I've got my coach Rich, who's taking care of everything, Monday is some interval running, followed by a HYROX class at Forders, which is really, really competitive. You've got people who have got like world records and British records who you're racing against, so it really pushes you. Tuesday will be a 75-minute zone 2 run, and then that'll be followed by some strength and threshold training on the afternoon. Wednesday is the famous Wednesday lunchtime class at Forders, where we met. And then Thursday, I've got some strength and conditioning, followed by some threshold lactate stuff. And then Friday, some more running intervals, lactate threshold. Saturday's a thankful rest day. And then Sunday is some strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
So there's a few double days in there when I can fit it in.
Yeah, it's full on. It's full on.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, you are working full time as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a family business, and it's quite flexible. So luckily, I can fit some stuff in some mornings and then afternoons. But then, in the same token, with the role I have, it can be extremely busy. So some days I just don't get a second. So kind of play it by ear, depending on how the day is. Yeah.
Good man. Okay. And then going back to the so through the summer, and you mentioned the Spartan race. I got written down Beast. Is that 21K 30 obstacles?
Yeah.
That's it. Did a Beast and a Super Spartan races. They are.
Yeah.
Big man.
Yeah. So the Beast is a 21K 30 obstacles. Super's 10K 20 obstacles. Very similar layout. Obviously, just all that's different is the length and the amount of obstacles. But like I say, going back to when I was trying to find out what training I'm most suited for, I'm not a fast enough runner to run a 10K and be one of the best 10K runners there are out there. Yeah. I'm a fast runner, but I like to do stuff in between. I think that's where my niche is, if that makes sense. So doing these obstacle races is what's suited to me best. Running the 10K, but then in between, I've got to do 20 obstacles, which might involve monkey bars over a little lake, or balancing on a beam, or throwing a javelin through like a target. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I've not looked into them too much, the Spartan and the Decker and all this.
Yeah, good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so I spoke about it a few times with a few people, and our mindset, you know, sort of like the guys that we're with is a bit more focused on the HYROX, but I mean, you are the personification of the true hybrid athlete, you know, so I'm not smashing everything out, left, right and centre.
Always on the search for any new competitions, and just thought, oh yeah, that looks a bit of me, I'll have a go at that. There's this guy at the gym called Peter Kelly, and he's in his 60s. I don't want to do him out and say he's older than what he is, but I know he's in his early 60s, maybe even mid 60s, and he's an absolute inspiration. He's done some incredible competitions and challenges. He's done a few Ironmans. He's done something called Swim from Alcatraz, or Escape from Alcatraz, which is where you actually swim from the prison in Alcatraz across shark-infested, ferocious waters to land, and then I think you do some marathon type distance on a bike or a run. But he's done some really amazing stuff, and he did hold the world record for HYROX at one point for his age group in a mixed doubles. So I see him every now and then at the gym, and he tells me about these new different races, or
Got it.
they're new to me, but they've been going for ages, and he just knows about them.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's always exciting.
There you go. Pick your ideas up and go book something else. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's it.
Love it, love it. Listen, I'm just conscious of the time. I was hoping to spend a bit more on this, but tell us then the infamous world record attempt. So I think it was Hunter was partnering up with Jonathan Wynn. It was Graham Halliday and James Kelly, and it was Mark Dean, Dearden, and then fourth.
That's it. Yeah.
Was the what we're gonna say the gruesome twosome from Birmingham, Harry
The
Bird.
unknown.
Yeah. Fair play.
The yet to be known. So yes, Steve, I was actually supposed to be doing that race as a pro, because I've been working all year to beat my pro time.
Yeah.
And closer towards the date, I actually got quite nervous for it and thought I wasn't ready. And I didn't actually, again, I think I got a bit of stage fright and lack of confidence in doing the pro. And just so happens, Steve's doubles partner had dropped out. So I thought, perfect opportunity, jump in with Steve's doubles partner, get back into HYROX because I hadn't done it for so long, and then focus my efforts on the next pro, which was London, about a month or two later.
Yeah.
Ended up running it with Steve in Birmingham, class, really enjoyed it, and yeah, smashed it with a decent time.
Yeah, nice. And then that leads us on to the latest HYROX then was Frankfurt. It was your singles open debut. So you must have done 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8, about your 9th HYROX before you finally do a singles open.
Send it back to the front. So the reason for doing that is because about a month before that, I'd done the London one, or 2 weeks before, and that was a pro.
Oh, right. I didn't realise.
Yeah, I'd done London pro, and I went into it with the complete wrong, taper and training. Did that, got 2 minutes worse than my PB. So I did a 107, and then that really knocked my confidence again. So I thought I need to book an open to boost my confidence. Booked the open and ended up smashing it and getting the time that I got, which was like 58 minutes.
Yeah. I say at the start in the intro, but just to recap, 58.33. It's the second fastest Brit in the 25 to 29 age group, and at the time is the 35th fastest open singles of all time. So hats off.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nice one. And the guy who's got first place, I was with him last night. He was training at Forders.
Oh, is he?
So he trains at Forders every now and then. Yeah, Jake Williamson.
Jake Williamson, right? Yeah. Okay.
So he's got first place and the world record for that for the age group.
Is that the third fastest time of all time? Did you say?
For our age group, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And some head-to-head battles at Forders then.
Exactly, yeah. So you've got the likes of him, Ollie Russell, another guy called Sam Craig, who's got 57 minutes in the open, and I think he's got the British record for his age. I'm not sure on that one, but that's just sort of the competition that you're dealing with on a Monday night down at Forders. So it can be pretty intimidating, but like I say, everyone's friendly and it just pushes you on to do better.
Of course, they say, it's your environment, isn't it? It's the people you're around.
Exactly, yeah.
You're all striking.
Yeah, it rubs off on you.
The best, and there you go. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, we won't go into too much detail about what's next. People can, I guess, they can follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Handle.
I don't even know. I think it's Harry Charles Bird.
Harry Charles Bird. What's Charles, by the way? Is that just the middle name?
That's just my middle name, yeah.
Not like story behind that or anything.
Nah. I wish. I'll have to think of one for next time.
It's at Harry Charles Bird on Instagram. People can see what's next. I mean, you sent me the other day, you've got about 15 events in the next 3 months, so it's going to be busy.
Yeah.
That's another podcast for another time to go through all that.
Get myself clean and dry.
There we go. Harry, it's been awesome. Listen, we like to finish the final question on the Smash Life Experience podcast is, Mr. Harry Bird, what is your number one top tip to Smash Life?
To Smash Life?
There we go.
I'd say number one tip to smash life is to be consistent. And it's probably been said before, and it's probably one of the most obvious things you can do, but consistency. If you set your mind to something and you get a plan in place, then just be consistent with it. Chip away every day. Uh, for example, if it was to improve on HYROX and try and get a better time, your consistency with your training is the only thing that's going to get you there. And that can be said for everything in life, whether it's a business goal or a personal life goal. Consistency is what's going to get you there. Turning up every day, day in, day out, and putting in the effort.
Boom. One of the best ones, that.
Yeah, man.
Love it. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you want to,
Nice one.
I've got little outros to say, and I'll give you a shout. Yeah, Harry.
Yeah.
Top man, thanks a lot. All the best.
One.
See you soon.
Cheers, Mike.
Yes,
have
mate.
a good one. See you soon.
Going, keep up the good work.
Yeah, man. Keep the consistency.
Yeah. Keep the consistency. Love it.
That's it, man.
Harry, thanks, mate. See
Stay
you.
consistent.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. So that was Mr. Harry Charles Bird. Hope you enjoyed, both enjoyed and feel inspired. If you are, then please share so we can inspire more people. Comment below with your feedback. And we finish by saying this is the Smash Life headquarters. We're on a mission, simply inspiring people. We say enjoy the journey. So wherever you are and whatever you're up to, thank you for listening. Have a great day. Remember, it's nice to be nice. Smash Life. Yeah, man. Peace.